opening bounce in the 1990 preliminary final. And great rivals North Adelaide and Port Adelaide. Redden up against Johnston. Johnston first tap. Stephen Williams in the centre, also Geneva. And umpire Kinnear will bounce just forward of the centre circle. Umpires Kinnear and Mackey officiating today.
And conditions absolutely perfect for football at the park.
The breeze favouring the lake end here at Football Park. Rowan Smith kicks high. At centre half forward is Wanganeen. Also Brown. He did that beautifully. Hurry kick. And it falls in the arms of Bradley Ryan. He's been a fine defender for North Adelaide. Sweeping hand pass. Finds Clisby. Out wide. The run of Burton. The racehorse off. On the bounce to Saliba. He's got support over the top. Here's Marshall. Now North Adelaide with space. D. Jarman breaks in the pocket in front of Harris. And it's out of play, left full forward pocket.
And it's pretty much as expected, except for the fact that Darren Smith for Port Adelaide centre half forward normally has gone to the pocket. And Bradley Ryan is now going back, and Clisby's going on to Hines at centre half forward.
We've played 1 minute of the preliminary final. Williams, now Phillips, away from the half-back line. Wanganeen. Hand pass out wide. Tregenza wasn't sure whether to risk the hand pass or go for the kick. He elects to go for the kick to the half-forward line to Smith. Ryan in front. Push in the back. And Ryan gets the free kick.
Inside his defensive 50, Bradley Ryan. Chips in short. Sanders. A high kick holds up in the breeze. Burton. Also there, Mark Williams. Oh, Redden goes in hard. Here's Northeast. He pops it up with the breeze to right half forward. Hines, but a good marking defence taken by Clisby, and he's a fine defender, Darryl.
Yeah, so just setting things up. Bradley Ryan going to the pocket, Clisby to centre half-back, and there Perkins on Scott Hodges.
And Clisby's second kick was off Bennett's hands, and it's out of play. Attacking side of centre wing for the Magpies.
Around about 20,000 here for this, the preliminary final. Hines and Redden. Craig. Clisby back to Craig. Was that a throw? No, not according to the umpire. Play on. Clomp. Long one. Bennett getting underneath it. So too Northeast. Beautifully done by Darren Jarman. The magical Darren Jarman. He takes one bounce outside 50. Now inside 50. Long kick by Darren Jarman. Goal. Great start to the Roosters. North of 1 goal. Port yet to score.
Well, you won't see better than that at Football Park in the preliminary final. Darren Jarman in the forward pocket, crossed the half-forward line, bounced around one opponent, sidestepped David Brown, inside, 48 metres out, right through the centre. The scoreboard, the first major on the ball for the Roosters.
And they lead by 6 points. We've played 3 minutes in the first term of the prelim. Comes down to Mark Williams, just wide of the centre circle. He was felled after he kicked it. Wanganeen up high, he knocks it to ground. Here's Brown, he collided with Geneva. Geneva knocks it on intelligently. It's forced out wide. Bodies over the ball in defence. Wanganeen emerges. He's tucked away on the angle, Gavin Wanganeen. Brings it around. Perkins in defence. Nice footwork. Clears. Only as far as Stephen Williams. Inside 50. He chips to goal. And he's put it through. No, he hasn't. It's just shaved the goalpost. Anxious supporters look on. And the Roosters lead by 5 points.
Well, Perkins just a little bit nervous in that kick. He went to the centre of the ground. Should have gone to the defensive side, the far side. Stephen Williams given the opportunity.
Saunders goes short, and that wasn't good. Because Williams hasn't. He'll kick from about 50 metres, perhaps a little further than that. This is Mark Williams coming back from the Brisbane Bears. His second kick coming up. That's a long kick, but he put too much into it, and he has missed everything. Out of bounds on the full left forward pocket.
Well, Port Adelaide would be looking to lift. At least 8 of their players were below form against Glenelg last week, and John Cale would be anxious.
And North Adelaide keen to avenge last year's humiliation in the grand final. It's inside half forward, and Hutton knocks it out of play. Perfect conditions here at Football Park. The breeze blowing and favouring the northern end here at West Lakes. A boundary throw in inside Port Adelaide's 50-metre zone. It's knocked wide. Here's Saunders. Mark Williams to Hines. Wanganeen finds space. Back to Brown. Chip pass up towards Hodges at full forward. Opposed to Perkins. Clisby, the experience. And he knocks it through for a behind.
Well, the defenders got there quickly to help Perkins. Klomp was down from centre. Clisby from centre half back. Now, the North Adelaide defence would be... It's important that they settle and get this kick away to the defensive side.
Saunders. This time he favours the far side of the ground. Could kick about a 60-metre one. Chance for Johnston. Now the chance is for Rowan Smith. Phelps. Hand pass was a bit wide. It comes back to Rowan Smith. A very dangerous forward generally. Short pass to Hodges off his chest. Couple of mistakes. Now Clisby. Very experienced defender. He goes looking for Sims. Oh, brilliantly done by Abernathy. He knocks it about 25-30 metres. That was worth a kick. Smith ducks his head. It's still in play in the left forward pocket. Defence of North Adelaide having to work overtime. Wanganeen round the corner, squaring it. It's all North Adelaide. Hand pass across to Clisby, and they look like getting out of trouble.
Here's Perkins in defence. Back to Clisby. Good use of hand pass by the Roosters. He chips in short. The target, Neil Craig. He went to play on, but checked his initial motion. He's lost it now. It's on the outer side centre wing. Chance here for Ginniver. He's bearing down on Craig. That was unfortunate for the veteran, and it's out of play.
Well, the crowd will enjoy this one. It's a bright day. Might be a bit bright for the spectators. The football conditions are perfect.
Redden and Hines. Redden grabbed it off the pack. Now Klomp impeded on Stephen Williams, and there'll be a free kick. Attacking side of centre wing.
And that'll be one of the very important duels. Both are very physical players. Klomp not as skillful as Williams.
The Magpies with the breeze. Williams swings play to centre half forward. The target Hodges. Here's Wanganeen. He's dangerous. On to Brown. Snapshot by David Brown is offline. He turned in the same motion and kicked. And a behind scored. Port Adelaide 3 behinds. They trail North Adelaide 1-6.
David Brown too would be very keen to improve last week's performance. Lehman goes wide.
And he's got Lehman. Came from Saunders, former Essendon reserves player. Away from the back pocket. Long kick. Over there is Phelps and Bennett. Neither one of them can juggle it. And it's out of bounds. Eastern side of the ground. It's 1 goal north in the preliminary final. Port Adelaide 3 points. We've played 7 minutes. Pretty good crowd in attendance here at headquarters. Rowan Smith, Mark Williams squares the ball inside 50. Hodges, yes, this time.
Well, there's an important message there. Hodges was too fast for Perkins. The ball was put way out in front to space, and he's 30 metres out.
7 goals last week. Shouldn't have any trouble with the distance, directly in front. Has a good look at them. It's an awkward kick, but it's effective. It's through the middle. So Port hit the front of the prelim. 1 goal, 3, 9 points. North 1 goal, 6.
Port Adelaide with the territorial advantage. The kick in front, little Perkins could do. And so Scotty Hodges with this nice, smooth kick. Wobbled a little bit off the boot, kept it low, kicking with the breeze for his first. Hodges, the Ken Farmer medal and the 1990 Magarey medalist.
4 scoring shots to 1, and the Magpies lead by 3 points. It's in the centre. Umpire Mackie hovering. Fed out wide to Craig. He was tackled. A lot of players in the centre of the ground. Brown's kick was smothered. Here's Hutton. Bearing down Dixon. Hutton got his kick away into the pocket. Coming out as Hodges. Can he kick one of his miraculous goals? He's inside 50, snaps to a vacant goal square. Wanganeen coming back. Will the bounce favourite Tregenza? It's knocked wide. Ginniver into the space. He's tackled well. Support coming from Tregenza. Good spin. Wanganeen 10 metres out. And the snapshot is good. The Magpies lead by 9 points.
Well, what tremendous teamwork. Ginniver, the player who took possession for Port Adelaide. He dived, was well supported, tried to keep his feet, went to ground. Tregenza got it out quickly to Wanganeen. The juniors competed well. Gavin Wanganeen opened up the face of the goal with the left foot. And the Magpies suddenly 3 quick goals.
9.5 minutes first quarter. It's 2-3 to 1 goal. 15 plays 6. Back in the centre. Kinnear and Mackie, the 2 umpires officiating. 2-3 to 1 goal. Craig desperately trying to get the kick of the hand pass away, but Williams was tackling him strongly. And there'll be another ball up alongside the centre circle. Conditions perfect for this prelim final. And the breeze favouring the northern end, but it's not worth a lot. Out wide, Clisby. Wanganeen. Well, he appeared to get one high. The umpire didn't seem to think so, though. Brown's kick. Hodges waiting at the back as Perkins. And he's got a chance. Two Port Adelaide players come at him, though. Marshall, high one. Hutton gets underneath it with courage, and Williams. Great mark to Williams. He came in late. And he'll kick from about 55 metres.
Well, he showed courage. Got there ahead of two teammates. With this kick, if he goes to the right, it is a chance.
His third kick. Oh, that's a shocking kick. Off the side of the boot. Oh, but the mark has been taken. And it's Russell Johnston, the big captain, and Ruckman for Port Adelaide.
Well, just dropping into the space in case of the missed kick. Normally playing on the back play. And Stephen Williams just laying back and hooking his foot looking for distance.
2-3 to 1 goal. Johnston directly in front and nails it. 3-3. Port, North 1 goal. We played 11 minutes.
And the Magpies are on fire. They'd have had a hectic week at training. Captain Russell Johnston. An accurate shot for a ruckman in front of goals. He's got an important job to do against Mick Redden, and starting with great confidence. And the Magpies in the first 11 minutes looking far too strong, lead by 15 points.
3-3 to just a solitary goal, but Port Adelaide with the breeze in the first term here at Football Park. Johnston wins it down, comes to Craig, who's had some good touches in the first quarter. He kicks it wide. Fiacci, the bounce was called for him as Dixon has got the run of it. He's been harassed by Fiacci. Good defensive tactics, one of the Magpies' best last week. It's jarred wide. Sims is tackled by Hutton, and he gets the free kick. He's well outside 50. They trail by 15 points. Sims centres play. The long lead's on by Darren Jarman. It hasn't got the carry. It's thumped clear into the centre of the ground. Tap wide, here's Saliba. A loose hand pass, Brown. Wanganeen, can he pick it up? He can. Slips it back to Brown. Brilliant football. He chips in towards the lead of Hodges. He knocks it to ground very intelligently. Hines back to Darren Smith. But it's forced out of play at left half forward.
And Bradley Ryan showing a lot of courage as he ran across the face or the path of Scott Hodges. Kept the ball to ground.
15 points in it. 3-3 to 1 goal. Left half forward for the Magpies. They've been doing a lot of the attacking after North Adelaide kicked the first goal of the match. Free kick.
Kim Klomp forced his way through, didn't take possession. That's the aggressive action of the centreman.
Yes, Darryl, very aggressive player, Klomp. Centre wing, Fiacci. No mark. He was in front of his opponent, Dixon, but he couldn't control it. Out of bounds. Western side. Centre wing. 3-3 to 1 goal. 13 minutes first quarter. Prelim final here at Football Park. Perfect conditions. Clisby showing a lot of pace for a man of his age. Now Craig. Strong tackling in the centre. And there'll be a ball up.
Well, Craig turning back got into trouble. He was trying to give that ball to Trevor Clisby, who had come through at a rate of knots.
The Magpies lead by 15 points as ahead of centre for Port Adelaide. Darren Smith wrestles and wins the tap. Clisby dispossessed. Sanders onto Saliba. Finds space to Hart, but his hand pass was poor. Marshall in there for North Adelaide. It's fed out. Ginniver. But a scramble of play in the centre of the ground. And again a bounce.
It's not too often that Daryl Hart goes 14 minutes into a quarter without a touch, and I don't think the skipper for North Adelaide's touched the ball yet.
Umpire Mackey with a bounce. It's just been confirmed as Mark Williams gets the kick to open space at left half forward. Brown against Saunders. He hooks it back. A one-on-one battle. And the mark to Hines in the square. That was superb body work.
Well, Brown did that brilliantly to get it back. Hines has just got too much height and body strength for Ryan, and he held ground well.
5 metres out, he puts it through. And the Magpies open up a 21-point lead.
And if you look at the Port Adelaide players who've kicked goals, Stephen Williams, Johnston and Hines, 3 of the 5 were all down in form last week. Brown did that well. brought it back to the goal square. Hines too tall, too strong for Ryan, and it was the simplest of goals. But Kale would be pleased. Players out of form last week have got early goals to lift their confidence.
4-3 to 1 goal, 15 minutes first quarter. Back in the centre, Johnston and Redden. Williams going through hard. It comes wide. Ginniver, long one. Just waiting underneath it is Ryan. He was disappointed with his performance only moments ago against Hines. He runs away. Long kick out very wide. Chance for Tregenza. Did that beautifully. Now Johnston. Hand pass infield to Ginniver. And the Magpies go forward again. This is inside 50, but once again the defence of North Adelaide there in numbers. And they certainly need to be. This is Marshall. Long kick into the centre. All North Adelaide again. And Redden's taken a strong mark.
I've been watching Mick Redden. He's now grasping his groin. That would have hurt a little.
Hand pass to Sanders. He goes even wider. He's got to chase after it himself. Phelps is there. Northeast tackles Sanders through Rowan Smith's legs. Dixon looking for some support. Klomp comes in late. Phelps is there as well. So Ginniver. And Ginniver kicks Port Adelaide clear. It's a short one to Brown. Lovely. Beautifully done. Now Tregenza. Long kick. Hines. No mark, but he's good enough to recover. Smith squares the football. Hodges.
Brilliant passage of play. Smith putting that pass in front of the full forward. Lehman nearly got down to cover up, but just couldn't help the defensive action.
His third kick coming up. It's 4-3 to 1 goal. It's been all Port Adelaide. And Hodges has one. He's directly in front. Keeps it low and gets it. Port Adelaide go further in front. They're 5 goals, 3-33. North just 1 goal.
And if Port can keep the forward line open, that's what can happen. Out quickly from Hines. Darren Smith in front of Hodges. Lehman attempted to defend, but at the second grab, the Magarey medalist. And he's got that ball direct and accurate today for 2 quick ones.
And while the Magpies were screaming ahead, Kim Klomp was involved in altercation. Also Darren Jarman on their defensive zone. So certainly no love lost out there between the two sides. 27 points in it. Mark Williams from the centre. Up towards half forward, Rowan Smith. Here's Hutton. Support from Brown, but he goes it alone. Look at the pass to Hodges. And he got a great ride on Perkins. Hodges' third mark, and he'll shoot from 30 metres out.
And loose play across the centre. Lehman let Hutton inside, and nothing that Perkins can do.
Perfect conditions for Scott Hodges. 30 metres out, his fourth kick. Directly in front, Breeze at his back. And he drills it through, his second. And the Magpies boot their 6th.
Brilliant football, good method. Hutton, the player who got inside. His opponent, Lehman, was too loose. And Scotty Hodges in front of Perkins. So Michael Noonan's got a problem with that defensive action. They're a little slack across the centre of the field, and they need to tighten up for the remainder of this first term.
Port Adelaide playing with a bit more purpose this week, Darryl.
Exactly. I think Kale's given them the message. He's got far more players to the ball.
Haven't lost 2 games in a row all season. 6-3 to 1 goal Port lead. 19 minutes of the first quarter of the preliminary final. There's a lot of players in the centre. Clisby tackled very high and will get the free kick at centre half back. His 5th kick coming up. One of the most experienced players in the South Australian League. Left footer, and it's a long one as well. Phillips, the big knock from behind. Brown looking for support and gets it in the form of Tregenza. Quick as a flash, gets the kick inside 50. Perkins is there with Hodges. Now Perkins, and he wins out on this occasion. Ryan, now Clisby again, who holds that defence together very well. Craig, half back line, out to the wing. His skipper, Hart, first touch. Into the pocket. Dixon was the target, but it was too wide for him. Fiachi Stays in play, Abernathy, superbly done. And Abernathy away from the half-back line to Hutton was good, but Hutton dropped the mark. And then he goes in and ducks the head. Saliba is there, and so is Hart. And it's holding the ball.
Nearly a 50 penalty. Daryl Hart, 2 quick kicks.
Kick and a half out, into the pocket again. Lovely pass, but the mark not taken by Bennett, and it's out of bounds, right forward pocket.
And North Adelaide making the simple errors, just those little signs of nervousness. Need a goal or two to lift their confidence.
So after that brilliant goal to open up proceedings for North by Darren Jarman, they've been a bit quiet. 20 minutes gone first term. They trail by 33 against the breeze in the first term. Stephen Williams on to brother Mark, but Burton bared down as Hart was tackled also. Phillips touch of the fumbles at centre half back. In goes Rowan Smith, and the bounce will occur at the point of the square.
And Daryl Hart standing with both hands on his hips. The Magpie keeping an eagle eye on the vision, but Hart a little bit slow.
And the Magpie leads by 33. Mark Williams over the top to Hutton. It's on grandstand centre wing. A cruel bounce for David Hutton. In goes Lehman, but he was met heavily. Hutton over the top, concedes ground. Back towards Abernathy. Outside his defensive 50, around the body. Hines has got the run of it. In there too, Bradley Ryan. It's jarred wide, Tregenza. Here's Hines. Rowan Smith over the top to namesake Darren. The bounce sits for him. 30 metres out, he chips. And he's offline with his second kick. The Magpies lead by 34.
Well, their teamwork up forward is slick. They're playing with confidence, and Rowan Smith already a number of touches opening up the game for Darren Smith, and Port looking good ahead of centre.
They are, Darryl. They lead by 34 points at the moment as Saunders decides which flank to kick to. He goes very wide to the eastern side. Johnston is out there. Lehman with a lovely hand pass, and North Adelaide out of trouble. This is Craig into the centre. Saliba. Port Adelaide players bearing down on him. They've got a chance now to build. High one. Right half forward. Sims was knocked out of the contest. And Phillips has taken a big mark. This massive player, the centre half back for Port Adelaide.
High, nothing in opposition, had too much body strength.
Northeast got his kick away just in time. It's a spiral screw punt. Smith was his target, but the defence of North Adelaide holding strong on that occasion. That was Clomp and Clisby.
It'll be interesting to see if Clisby has gone on to Darren Smith. He's playing him much closer.
Port Adelaide lead by 34. In attack for the Magpies, Darren Smith. Kick was smothered. Here's Geneva, though. A high one around the body. Wanganeen at half forward. He's booted one. In defence is Turner. One lead game to his name. Perkins on to Klopp. Craig back towards Marshall. Good combination by the Roosters. But a vacant centre half forward position for North Adelaide. And Phillips marks. He sweeps one out wide to Harris off the side of the boot, but it may be in favour of Port Adelaide. Tregenza onto the loose ball. Back towards Harris. Tregenza butters up well. He chips into the space, but ill-directed. And the mark back there in defence to Perkins.
And Wanganeen almost wrote him off. But Bennett and Perkins high, Wanganeen late.
Hart and Wanganeen having words straight into the centre, and have a look at that, straight down the throat of Smith.
Well, that's been the problem. North Adelaide kicking poorly have found Phillips and now Smith.
Out wide he goes to Abernathy, the half-back flanker. Does it with ease. High kick, squaring it to centre half forward. Wanganeen in front. Over the top there was Turner. Out wide it comes. Burton trying to get the run of it. Geneva runs with him. So does Rowan Smith. Out even wider it goes. Tregenza. Eventually Rowan Smith gets it. They go back. The combination here is brilliant. This is Geneva onto the left foot. The kick is a long one. Hodges. Good work by Perkins again, but he couldn't quite control that. Saunders away from defence.
Is it half-back Daryl Hart, his second kick coming up. Across the face. He's got both Clisby and Craig to choose from. Clisby, in fact Craig it is. Needs support from Clisby. He's in trouble, Trevor Clisby, but did it beautifully. A poor hand pass ends up with Turner on to Craig, grandstand centre wing. He wants to draw the player, does so. Over to Lehman, this fellow's got some toe. Now D. Jarman breaks with a long lead. Darren Jarman at centre half forward. Behind is Craig. Here's Darren Jarman, he gathered beautifully. Inside to Sims, it's not quite to Burton. He's inside 50, under pressure, puts it back, Turner. In fact, the player was number 23, which is Dixon, and it's out of play.
And it is a well-drilled Port Adelaide defence. Dropping back was Johnston and Phelps to assist Harris.
Still 34 points in at Port lead. Well into the first quarter, through Bennett's hands. Williams shrugs the tackle with ease and then goes very long over the head of Tregenza, and Smith has got it. Tregenza ends up with it, the brilliant wingman. It's a long kick to Hodges, almost the mark, tried to take a one-hander. Williams runs into the open goal. He should score. Fourth kick and does. 7-4, 46 Port, North, 1 goal.
Well, that was Port Adelaide at their best. Mark Williams cleared from defence to Darren Smith. He gave it off quickly to Tregenza and won out the forwards. Perkins was able to spoil. Stephen Williams inside brilliantly. Now, he had an option, but ran in. Whilst he hit the post with his first shot, that one was a 6-pointer.
So a very big lead to Port Adelaide. The breeze is not that strong here at Football Park, but their lead is 40 points, 26 minutes gone. In the opening term of the prelim final, Johnston and Redden. Comes down to Rowan Smith, who's in the centre. Hand pass wide to Geneva. In there is Klump, it's forced loose. Clisby goes in hard. Also Mark Williams needs support, gets it in the form of Geneva. Does the full circle, chips in short to Hutton. And that was very intelligent play. He's got to play it loose at half forward. Darren Smith over the top to Hines. 20 metres out, David Hines straightens and he goes. So the Magpies boot their 8th and Hines kicks his 2nd.
Well, the story is there. Darren Smith, 50 metres clear of Clisby, got the ball to Hines. Clisby was shepherded out and Hines squared the body to use the natural right foot. And the forwards who were out of touch last week against Glenelg are alight.
8-4 to 1 goal. 52 plays 6. 27.5 minutes, first quarter of the preliminary final. And the crowd has built up. But it is all Port Adelaide. Hart, who's been a quiet player so far. Phelps, long hand pass to Tregenza, who's had a lot of touches. That was his 6th kick up to the right half forward line, and there's a good mark taken by Turner, the youngster, just 16 years old. Away from defence. Little short pass is good. Burton draws the player. Now Sanders. Long kick. It'll land just inside 50. Bennett outnumbered 2-1. One of them was Johnston, the other one was Phillips. Now Jarman. His opportunities have been minimal. That kick was smothered beautifully by the Port Adelaide defence. Burton again. Saliba put him under enormous pressure. It's fast and ferocious out there. Jarman now, can he do something? He has. He scored a behind. It's 1-1 North. Port 8 goals 4.
Well, aggressive defence by the Magpies ruined any easy chance North had.
Long kick out of defence. Hutton's got the run of it though. Great tap on to Wanganeen. Good ball skills by Gavin Wanganeen. Here's Hodges into the open goal. And he's kicked his 3rd, Scott Hodges, with his 5th kick. And Port Adelaide boot their 9th.
Well, what play. Wanganeen was brilliant. Hutton tapped on. Wanganeen 1, 2, 3 touches. There's actually an FAD which would have been paid to Hodges, but Hodges was allowed to play on by Mackie, and that's the simplest of goals. So umpire Mackie was going to pay that as a free. Wanganeen was the player going to ground.
9-4 to 1-1. Almost 30 minutes gone in this first quarter. And what would Michael Noonan be thinking? Perkins straight through his hands. Chance again. Ginniver, Smith. Danger signs again. A left footer, and he's missed to the left-hand side. 9-5-59 Port. North a 1-goal one.
Well, John Cale has reversed the form. Many of his players out of touch last week against Glenelg. True, North Adelaide are not as aggressive, but Port are playing with confidence.
And the Magpies lead by 52 points. Here's a chance for Hutton once again. He squares the ball. The target, Rowan Smith, too much carry. Oh, that was comical. As Sims collided with a teammate, swept out wide. Tregenza inside 50 from the standing start. And the Magpies on the rampage in the prelim final. Tregenza boots his first, and Port get their 10th.
And Port Adelaide. Well, North players have been running into each other. Redden went to ground, Hutton centred, then Klomp and Hart did the same. Rowan Smith forced through, set up the hand pass. Inside the defensive action was Tregenza, and he kicked accurately. Well, the bounce of the ball, the luck of the game, and the cohesion is not with North.
10-5 to 1-1. The scoreline tells the story. Rowan Smith on his back. And it's on at centre half forward.
Kim Klomp was the player. Darren Smith, I believe it is, who's down. Rowan Smith came through. Oh, yes, it's Rowan Smith. It was Klomp was high with the elbow. The Port Adelaide players quickly to apply some pressure. Well, North have to do something. They have to get aggressive. They have to stop the play.
Well, haven't they improved, Darryl? Port Adelaide from last week. It's a completely different side. 10-5 to 1-1, and Rowan Smith is a sore and sorry boy at the moment, and we know how damaging he can be on that half-forward flank or from the centre.
And that's the elbow that did the trick. Just a little bit of lack of discipline.
Play continues. Chance for Hutton, left forward pocket. Round he goes, and there's a safe mark. Oh, just taken by Big Mick Redden, the farmer.
He's dropped right back across the last line of defence to try and slow things down.
His first kick. Looking for Bennett. Now there's a push out, and it's going North Adelaide's way. It'll go to Bennett. That was thrown back rather vigorously. Left footer. Dixon has got it. So North Adelaide a final chance now to score, and just as I speak, the siren goes. It's quarter time here at Football Park. Prelim final. 10 goals, 5 Port Adelaide. 10-5-65. North 1-1-7. Second quarter of the preliminary final here at Football Park, and Port Adelaide 10-5-65 lead North 1-1-7. It's a margin of 58 points, and quite obviously it was all Port Adelaide in that quarter as Williams, Mark Williams to Hodges, Perkins with him, now Marnie who's on the ground, chance for Smith, and it will be a walk-in goal.
Well, 14 seconds into the second term, Port Adelaide get their 11th goal to really shatter North Adelaide's chances of coming back early in this term. Off it went, fisted by. Marnie got the kick, and dropping back and beaten by the bounce was Ryan. And the simplest of kicks, I think that was even a drop kick from Darren Smith.
Such is the arrogance of Port Adelaide's play at the moment. 11-5-71, 1-1-7, North Adelaide. And the scoreline tells the story here at Football Park. Sims around the body. North with the breeze in the second term. Numbers with Port Adelaide in defence. Here's Phelps. Lost possession. Tackled by Bennett very well. Play on the call. It's force wide to Phillips. But he's happy to see it out of bounds. Right half forward.
Well, we knew that Port Adelaide would be angry. They played poorly against Glenelg. Still only 2 kicks behind at the end of the game. So Cale has got them primed up for the prelim.
A big 64-point margin here at Football Park currently. Craig with the run of the ball in the centre. Needs support. He's over the ball. That's dangerous tactics. The centre half forward for North Adelaide, turned out by Tregenza. Here's the run of Ginniver through the centre of the ground. The target, D. Smith. That's Darren Smith. Back towards Brown. The hand pass wasn't so good, but he's got support. Tregenza, 40 metres out. Hodges, oh, he slipped over but nearly took the mark. Great body work, Scott Hodges. That is a sensational goal. His sticks, you would never see a better goal than that. And Port Adelaide lead by 70 points in the prelim final.
Well, every picture tells a story. Tregenza put it out in front. Hodges at full length couldn't take the dive, desperation, up and under, a left foot snap, and a brilliant goal. Well, that's how you win Magarey medals. That's how you win the Ken Farmer medal for the most goal kickings.
12-5 to 1-1. 12-5 to 1-1. This is unbelievable. 2.5 minutes gone, and the Magpies go forward again. And they have it again, and Hodges has taken another mark. What a day out at the office, Darryl, and it's not finished yet.
In front, Perkins not quite the leap to stay with Hodges, and the square shoulders and the strong hands brought the ball to ground.
Has 5 goals. His 7th kick coming up. 12-5 to 1-1. Long kick, and he is accurate. Another one to Hodges, another one to Port. We've played 3 minutes. It's 13-5 to 1-1.
Well, the disaster of 1989 is being repeated. The agony there. Hodges just too good for Perkins. Now, no doubt Michael Noonan has a contingency plan, but there will be few North Adelaide defenders who can compete with the Port Adelaide full forward champion.
83 points, playing 7. Port Adelaide lead, 3.5 minutes gone in the second term. Umpire Mackey, the bounce in the centre. Bennett versus Hines, comes down to ground. Sims battling hard in the centre. It's forced wide. Here's Hines. He knocks it wide of the pack. Sanders over the ball, but the umpire in for the bounce. Umpires Kinnear and Mackey officiating. A 10-goal first term to Port Adelaide, and they've opened very brightly. 3 goals in 4 minutes. It's centre half forward for the Magpies. Geneva with a run of it. Inside 50. Support from Brown. 20 metres out and bearing. And he puts it through. This is sensational football by Port Adelaide. Brown boots his first. And the Magpies kick their 14th.
Well, the run was on. Craig tried to get the ball out. Geneva forced through the pack. Brown was wide. Nothing Saunders could do. Straightened up with the left foot. And when a side gets confident and starts to run, the machine works and kicks 14 goals in about 30 minutes of football. Perfect play, the overlap, and the goal.
14-5 to 1-1. 5 minutes, second quarter of the preliminary final. Craig. Long kick. Jarman went through his hands. Phillips at the back. Needs someone to give it to. Eventually goes to Phelps in that back pocket. Trying to pick up. He can't do so. And Northeast is with him and it's out of bounds.
Well, Mick Redden is resting in the forward pocket. He's obviously re-injured that groin. Bennett is the #1 ruckman on the ball for North.
14-5 to 1-1. Klomp. Now Burton round the corner. There's no one in the goal square. And it's out of bounds, right forward pocket.
So North Adelaide in trouble. Hart is also in the pocket. He went and hurled his hips very firmly early in the first term.
It's an attack for the Roosters. Comes down to Hart. Over the ball is Fiacci, one of the Magpies' best last week. It's fed out wide. Stephen Williams goes in very strongly and is tackled high. Sims is remonstrating, but that was a pretty undisciplined tackle.
Yes, just the frustration showing. Williams down below and Stephen Sims infringes.
Stephen Williams' 5th kick to the outer side centre wing. Knocked to ground. Clisby. Slick hand pass to Klomp. Outside 50. Long kick. Redden from the side. Did he mark? No, he didn't. Play on the call. Ben Harris. Support coming from Fiacci. Good rebounding work by the back pocket player. On to Phelps, who looked to play on, but then saw Burton coming at him. Checked his movement. Out wide to Northeast. A good knock on. Brown. Here's Northeast once again. He's got a bit of space. Inboard. Back to Brown, but it set him up badly. Geneva Gets around Craig with a hand pass. Butters up well, but a loose hand pass ends up with Sanders. A tumble punt kick. Here's Saliba, centre wing, in front of the members. Over the top to Burton. Look at this fellow run. One bounce, outside 50. The breeze at his back with his 5th kick, chips in short. And Daryl Hart, the Bronx, cheers, but he will shoot from inside 50. The lead's on offer. Darren Jarman lopes, but misses. And things really not going right. And Darren Jarman really compounds their problems by kicking it out of bounds on the field.
Well, the effort was there. Hart just a little high with the lead. Things happen when you lose your confidence.
Harris, who came back to Port Adelaide from the Brisbane Bears. Abernathy, another very experienced player. Harris, again, out very wide. There's a loose man. It's Phillips. Draws the player, gives it to the very quick wingman in Hutton. Here's Hodges. He's on a long lead. He's now got a backtrack. Hutton can go all the way if he wants. No, he goes to Hodges. Didn't quite go far enough, though. And the North Adelaide defence are there in numbers. They desperately try and get it out of the danger zone. Marshall. Now Saunders. A loose hand pass. Back to Marshall. Now Clisby. Left footer. Brown bearing down on Sims. Beautifully done to Ginniver. Little short pass. That wasn't quite so good. And North Adelaide to clear, and this is Turner.
Hand pass over to Bennett. Peter Bennett. Long kick. Sims is hobbling at centre wing. Ben Harris. We saw this last week.
Unbelievable.
Almost a carbon copy. He seemed to be fit as the players made their way onto the field, Darryl, but he's hobbling now.
Yes, he's running with a left leg with the gate. It's a funny action, and he's obviously in trouble.
Sanders at centre wing, grandstand side. His hand pass was smothered. Redden out of the congestion. Hart onto Turner. 2 senior games to his name. Underground kick to Darren Jarman. Touch of the fumbles, but Dixon good enough to mop up. Oh, the kick was smothered beautifully by Abernathy. Good defensive tactics. He squares it looking for Ginniver. Took it well on the half volley. Here's Stephen Williams. Too much space for the Magpies at the moment. On to brother Mark. Fiachi runs at him, but 5 kicks for Mark Williams as he goes to Hodges. Kicks inside 50. Turning out defence is Clisby. Out wide to Craig. He's got a panic to run in on the outer side centre wing. 3 bounces now. 89 playing 7. The Magpies lead. Craig lets fly a long kick. Darren Jarman late. 3 against 1 though. And a push out. Greg Phillips the free kick in the left back pocket.
Well, their defensive action is good. Phillips is dropping back and assisting Harris.
This is Marnie. Western back pocket. Lovely kick by Marnie. Gives Tregenza the run of it. Now he's got to go long, as it turns out. Brown was the target, but Saunders is there. Hand pass to Sims. Hand pass was not good by Sims. It was well intercepted by Brown. Sims goes in again and gives the free kick away.
And the frustration begins to show from North Adelaide. Sims, 2 loose tackles. Well played by Brown, the smother, and the undisciplined tackle.
Brown to Williams or Marnie, and Marnie's got it. Had 3 to beat. There'll be a ball up, so the mark not paid in front of the commentary position. It's 14-5 to 1-1.
The Magpies by 82 points. 10 minutes of play gone. Second term in the prelim final. Comes down to Stephen Williams. Hand pass was loose. Turner in the way though. And again it's out of play.
Well, they've got a lot of work to do, North Adelaide. They must now regain their composure and possession and begin to build with the breeze. Jarman coming down the field to get in the play.
Knocked wide by Hines. Marshall in the way. Ginniver goes in hard. Mark Williams chips into space. Brown makes space at right half forward. Can he keep it in play? Yes, he can. Onto the brilliant Tregenza. The ball sits for him 20 metres out into the open goal. And that was a brilliant goal by Tregenza, his second from his 10th kick. And the Magpies boot their 15th. Were played 11 minutes, second term of the prelim.
And David Brown from Mark Williams to space. What a performance improvement from Brown. He was down in form last week. Got the ball in front of Tregenza. He's a master at getting inside opponents. Ran in. Saunders a little late. And the ball squeezed through.
15-5 to 1-1. And the Magpies lead. And it's a massive lead of 88 points. North Adelaide supporters surely must be stunned at this stage, as would their teammates. Saliba gives away a free kick. Hutton will come back to the wingman. So Hutton on the outer side wing. This is his 7th kick coming up. A long drop punt. Hodges in front, almost the one-hander. Brown, long hand pass, not effective on that occasion though. Smith runs past it. Clisby comes in. Smith again in front, has 2 to beat. And eventually the ball is trundled over the line in the left forward pocket. 15-5 to 1-1.
Well, on the racetrack, they'd call for a swab. Kim Plonk to come off. That was a high tackle from Clisby that forced Darren Smith out. Van Zetter is on, and Kim Plonk is down.
Here's Hart in defence. The Roosters kick skipper inside his defensive 50. Long kick. Sims props. In defence, Greg Phillips sweeping hand pass. Now Johnston has yards in front of an opponent. Over the top to Abernathy. Support from Mark Williams. Backtracks to Abernathy. Does the full circle. Gets around Jarman like he's standing still. Long kick. Hodges! What a mark! That is brilliant inside 50. You saw it from a mile off.
And well called, David. He came from a mile. They were packed there. Hodges over the top, slipped through the fingers, hit the chin, and the elbows clean and brought the ball to ground.
He's booted 6, Scott Hodges. 45 metres out against the breeze. Tumble punt kick. And it falls in the arms of Bennett. Over the top to Saliba. So the Roosters down of defence. Up towards centre wing. Van Zetter, who's on the ground. Touch of the fumbles. Sanders is tackled beautifully by Tregenza. It's loose on centre wing. Marnie onto Mark Williams. Hand pass on the bounce was good football to Wanganeen. Long kick. Hines and also Hodges to the back of the pack. Chance here for Ryan. And he should mop up for the Roosters. Turns inboard and finds support in Peter Bennett.
From the back pocket, generally at centre half forward or doing a bit of ruck work. Marshall, half back flank. 15-5 to 1-1. That was his 5th kick into the centre. Almost Burton over his head. Picked up by Dixon. Well smothered by Ginnivan. Nicely done. Phillips, hand pass, was looking for Marnie. Put him under a bit of pressure as it turned out. On centre wing. Now North Adelaide with the numbers. This is Turner. Hart went past him. Picked up by North East. That unusual kicking style. Getting back as Marshall takes a good mark. So Marshall at half-back. It's 15-5 to 1-1. 14.5 minutes, second quarter of the prelim. Towards centre half forward. Through Johnston's hands. Picked up by North East again. It's a high one. Burton gets underneath it. So too Williams tried to knock it away. Marnie. Beautifully done to Ginnivan. Now Tregenza. Had the pace, but this time he was brought down. And North Adelaide there again. Sanders. Chance for Saunders. Not a lot of talking there. Saliba's caught by Williams. In goes Marnie. And the ball is bottled up on the attacking side of centre for Port Adelaide. 15-5 to 1-1.
Well, the Magpie pressure is forcing errors. North Adelaide have just lost that little bit of calm. They've been overwhelmed.
Port by 88 points. Darren Smith knocks it wide. Wanganeen. Can he gain possession of the second attempt? Yes, he can. He chips it up, looking for Hodges in the pocket. Now there'll be a free kick to Scott Hodges. Illegal use of the body by Tim Perkins.
Hodges in front. Perkins grabbed with both hands. The free by Mackie.
His 9th kick coming up, Scott Hodges. He's booted 6 against the breeze, so a pretty tough task. He's a long kick for goal, and he squeezes out to the right, and it's out of bounds on the forward.
Well, I don't expect you to really expect anyone to kick a goal from there on the right-hand pocket at Football Park. It's a very, very difficult goal at any time. But aren't the Magpies playing confidently? 10 goals in the first quarter, already 16 minutes into the second.
This is the North skipper. Perkins back to Hart. Little left footer. And this is Turner. Was about to give it to Hart. Eventually goes with the kick. Over the head of Ryan. Fiacci tries to half volley it. Now Hart. Lehman on centre wing on that eastern side. Gets around the very good player in Abernathy. Up to the half forward line. Now inside 50. Phelps. Beautifully intercepted by Craig. Williams is with him. Craig now needs someone to give it off to. Sims, round the corner goes Sims, and he has kicked it. At long, long last, Sims, his third kick, his first goal, and North at 2 goals, 1-13. Port 15-5-95.
And the spectre of 1 goal 8 in 1989 has been removed. Craig did that brilliantly. Had the eye on the ball, got it out. It was palmed back by Van Zetter. Sims onto the natural leg, despite the injury which he is carrying. He kicked accurately. Sims over the top, Craig's Van Zetter back.
So the margin 82 points. Wanganeen in the centre. Here's Brown out wide to the run of Tregenza. He trapped it well, back to Brown. Will this be the reply by the Magpies? Brown 30 metres out, and he's hit the post with his 8th kick.
And a brilliant passage again. David Brown high on Port's best so far in the first half. He's been a very good link player.
Former Essendon reserves player, Saunders, about to put this ball back into play. That's a good-looking kick outside of the defensive 50. Smith, great one-hander. Now to Brown, and Port Adelaide mount yet another charge. Hodges gets into position and almost the mark. Couldn't control on that occasion. And there'll be a ball up 20 metres in front of the Port goal. 15-6 to 2-1, 18 minutes.
It's a very physical clash between Perkins and Hodges. Hodges will win a lot of frees.
About 15 metres out for the Magpie goal. Chance here for the Roosters defence. Bennett onto Clisby. Here's Craig from left half back up towards centre wing on the grandstand side. It's not wide. Sanders comes in, also Fiarchi. This fella's an attacking back pocket player. Hands it off to Northeast. Hodges at centre half forward, nearly the one-hander. Craig inboard to Marshall. Hart onto Van Zetter. So North building. Van Zetter needs support, gets around Wanganeen. He goes long, but look at the North Adelaide forward line, non-existent. And Abernathy marks. A sweeping hand pass finds Phelps. He goes out wide. The target is Hutton. He spilt what he should have taken. Turner bearing down. He knocks it wide to Van Zetter. Mistake with the hands. And a bounce will occur on the outer side centre wing.
Well, North are trying to work their way back, trying to retain possession and make something happen. Hart has lifted, but a long way to go.
83 points, this massive lead by Port Adelaide. Darren Smith with the free kick. 15-6 to 2-1. His 7th kick. And they continue to go forward. Hodges from behind. Almost took a spectacular mark then. Marshall needs someone, gives it to Clisby. What can he do? The experienced defender. Now Turner, just 16 years old, to his skipper Hart, back to Turner. Good play in the 1-2, and he just got his kick away over the head of Fiarchi. Have a look at this. 4 Port Adelaide players and only 1. That was Sanders for North Adelaide. Fiarchi, well, as it's turned out, they've done pretty well. The brilliant Darren Jarman, what can he do? He picks up. Hand pass was a good one. Burton, now this should be a goal. Burton left footer, and he scores with his 6th kick. 3 goals, 1 to North. Port 15 goals, 696.
Full marks to the North Adelaide Roosters. It's Darren Jarman, aggressive attack at Fiarchi, forced the ball forward. He ran through Phelps. The quick reflex hand pass to Burton. Fingertip take. Kick across the body was accurate. And the Roosters 2 goals back in the last 3 minutes.
And the margin is 77 points. 15-6 to 3-1 in the centre. The bounce, Bennett versus Hines. Bennett hooked it back. Here's Burton, but a cruel bounce on this occasion. Good smother, though. Coming through Fiarchi. Back towards Phillips. Swept out wide to Abernathy. He runs from the point of the square. Long kick to centre half forward. Darren Smith from behind. In front is Clisby. Geneva with skill, but can't gain clean possession. Good hand pass for Craig to Lehman, and it's out wide to Dixon. So North runners now. Hart, this is better by the Roosters, who chips in board. Burton slips over at the opportune time. Fiarchi comes out, and a sweeping hand pass finds Hutton. A long kick to centre half forward, but in the way is Turner, and a good mark opposed to Brown.
Well, he's finding out about league football here. There's no questioning that. Darren Jarman, who's been moved from full forward. His 5th kick from centre wing. Long one. It's a high kick as well. Abernathy appeared to get one a little high, and that's the way the umpire saw it.
Well, Redden's now at full forward. He's having trouble with his movement. Abernathy in front. Redden high and hard.
Abernathy goes out wide to Hines. Oh, the hand pass was a little ordinary as it turned out, but have a look at this. Hines ends up with it. Out wide to Abernathy. And Williams was involved in that exchange as well. Harris, play on. Needs someone to give the football to. Burton swoops on it and does it particularly well. Now Bennett. And North build again. Gets around him. Long one. Inside 50. Rozonica, who's on the field. Redden does the shepherding. Now he's got to go in himself. Picked up by Saliba. Over the top. Sims, yes. Well, he might be hobbling, Darryl, but he's kicked 2 very valuable goals.
Yes, the reflex was there. Saliba did well as also to help. Redden moving poorly, got one hand to it. The push on. Saliba, the quick reflex over the top. Sims the snap. Well, they've come back. They've kicked 3 goals with the Breeze in about the last 6 minutes. And some hope for the Roosters.
And the margin back to 71 points as Ben Hart comes on for Darren Van Zetter. Ben Hart in his 2nd league game. Here's Lehman in the centre. Trying to find Craig, but he was flat-footed. Hutton's hand pass was smothered well by Clisby. Peter Bennett, good commitment. Lehman. Here's Hutton, he stole it well up towards left half forward. Marnie breaks and marks. Now he's got support in Brown. Chips around the corner. Brown, can he meet it on the bounce? He can. He's tucked away on the angle. Brings it back. But the mark in defence taken by Ryan. From right half back. He goes to right half back, I should say. Craig. He's got the run of it beneath the scoreboard. Over towards Lehman. This fella's got heaps of toe. Off half back. Long kick to right half forward, but underneath the mark. Taken there by Fiachi.
96 to 25. Hines, Ginniver, who missed a lot of this season through injury. Smith, knocked away from behind. Went through Sanders' hands. Smith a hand pass to Williams. Danger signs again. North Adelaide just seemed to be lifting a fraction. Ginniver again, out wide. 2 Port Adelaide players. One of them is Williams. Northeast is the other. Hand pass across. Tregenza under a bit of pressure. Into the right forward pocket and over the white line. 15-6 to 4-1.
Well, Noonan can see some progress. Talking to his runner. Trying to encourage the players to keep on applying physical pressure.
Right full forward pocket for the Magpies. Mark Williams, a hurried kick. Net on the half volley by Perkins. Wanganeen on an impossible angle. And he was forced out of plays that turned out. Well, the Breeze is favouring the Lake end, the end to which North Adelaide are attacking in the 2nd term. 96 playing 25. The Magpies lead by 71 points. It's about 5 metres out from Port's goal. Johnston hooks it back, but here's Ryan on towards Turner. Sweeping hand pass looking for Craig. Coming out of Stephen Williams. Great commitment. Ginniver needs support. He was tackled well. It's jarred wide. Craig is besieged upon and caught holding the ball. A fine tackle by Ginniver. His 11th kick coming out, Tim Ginniver. He was down on form last week, up on form this week. And look at the lead from Hodges.
Well, Perkins controlled Hodges' lead. He balked him several times. Ginniver, patient though, waited until the space was in front of the full forward.
And Hodges took his 7th mark. His 10th kick coming up, Scott Hodges. He's booted 6, 45 metres out against the Breeze. The ball holds up and it just fades away to the right. So behind to Port Adelaide, 15-7, 96 the Magpies. North 4-1-25.
And North have just slowed the Magpies down a little bit. They've kicked the last 3 goals, starting to get a little more confidence in their handball and trying to reduce the gap.
So Saunders from full back over the head of Hart. That was Ben. This is Ginniver. Long kick. Hodges from behind. Also Johnston there as well. It comes to the side. A lot of North Adelaide players there. Perkins, tackle Will, got the hand passed away to his captain Hart, picked up beautifully by Marnie. Now Brown has a shot and it is going to fall short. No, the mark taken by Hodges round the corner, and he's got another one. 16-7 Port, north of 4-1, and Hodges has got 7 for the match.
The pressure, the speed of the tackle, always under pressure. Hart was attacked by Marnie. He got the ball to Brown. Brown wobbled the kick. Fingertip control kept it in play for Scotty Hodges, and he decided to play on.
So the Magpies lead by 78 points. 16-7 to North Adelaide 4-1. A big crowd here at Football Park. Perfect conditions in the prelim final. Tap won by Hines. In the end, ends up with Sanders, a long kick, but the vacant North Adelaide forward line coming out as Redden, but he's on one leg. It's unfortunate. Well, that's the facts. He's got a groin injury. Harris fakes the hand pass, looks out wide. The lead's provided by North East. He's got to contend with the boundary line and also Peter Bennett. But it's out of bounds, grandstand centre wing.
Well, who would have thought that at this stage of the game that North Adelaide would have lost all their confidence?
Coach Michael Noonan in screen. Here's Bennett. Hand pass, but only as far as Mark Williams. He hooks it around his body. Marnie from behind. Here's Wanganeen. This fella's got great anticipation. The hand pass to space. He was pushed in the back. Clever work because he saw Clisby bearing down. A player short in Darren Smith. So there's been holes created in the Magpie attacking zone and loose checking by the North Adelaide defence.
Well, there's spaces everywhere. It's the quick thinking, the quick movement of Wanganeen that set it up for Darren Smith.
Darren Smith, who was down on form last week with his 9th kick coming up. He's booted one. 25 metres out, and he kicks his second. The Magpies have their 17th, will play 29 minutes, second term of the prelim final.
Well, the little master, number 3. Kept it in front, got a push. Clisby trying for the side, which is legitimate, got into the back. Wanganeen quickly set it up for Darren Smith, who, of course, is Clisby's opponent.
And Darryl, that margin, 84 points now. 17-7 to 4 goals won. 29 minutes, second quarter of the prelim final. And it's Hines and Bennett doing the ruck work for their respective sides. Turner to half forward. It's all Port Adelaide. Fiachi, Hines, Fiachi again. Jarman. Sending North Adelaide forward. It's a long kick over the head of Rosonico. Back there is Big Redden. Rosonico going back to do the mopping up. North East just casually runs onto it. Out wide to Abernathy. Burton. And that's surely got to be holding the ball.
2 circles, no hand pass.
But what a poor kick it was. Intercepted there by Saliba.
Would be a chance to go from here. The breeze almost right at his back in that pocket.
His second kick, 20 senior games, Adam Saliba. From the right full forward pocket, he bends it back, but too much. And a behind scored 4-2, 26 North Adelaide. Port Adelaide 17-7, 109.
There's no doubt that the juniors in the North Adelaide side have really come under pressure today. Lots of them are getting very, very few touches and have made unforced errors.
So this is Williams. Good looking kick out to the eastern flank, and Hines, who we understand has signed a 3-year contract to play with the West Coast Eagles next year. Looking for Williams, Darren Jarman with him. Turner, now Hart, smothered by Ginniver over the head of Dixon. Out comes Redden. He just watched that ball go past him. Harris, Phillips, little stab pass looking for Brown. It's half time. Quarter 17-7, 17-7, 109 Port Adelaide. North 4 goals to 26.
The second half of the 1990 preliminary final. The Magpies lead by 83 points, 17-7.
Little stab pass looking for Brown. It's half time. Quarter 17-7. 17-7, 109 Port Adelaide. North 4 goals to 26.
The second half of the 1990 preliminary final, the Magpies lead by 83 points, 17-7 to North Adelaide 4-2. A magnificent first half by Port Adelaide. It's out of the centre. In defence for the Magpies is Phillips, a long kick. Marnie will have the fly, but in front, a good defensive mark taken by young Peter Turner. He looks out wide. Runs provided by Craig. Met late by Hutton. Craig goes inboard. Here's Marshall, ahead of centre, long kick. Ben Hart's on a long lead. Daryl Hart reads it beautifully off the pack and goals from 30. With his ninth kick, Daryl Hart boots North Adelaide's 5th goal.
And it was a good build-up. Turner, second game player, took the mark, got it wide. The overlap from Marshall, Hart was just under. Namesake Daryl took the ball off the pack, and it was a simple goal for the Rover. Surprised me that Daryl Hart didn't get more touches in the first quarter. He's usually a prodigious kick-getter. Gets straight into a game, but whether it was nerves or injury or perhaps Port Adelaide, it took him 15 minutes to get a touch in the first term.
17-7 to 5 goals 2. And we've played 1 minute of the third quarter of the prelim final. Hutton got it from Williams. Little short pass is good. And Marnie's got it on his chest directly in front, 35 metres out. 17-7 to 5 goals 2. And Wayne Marnie directly in front. This will be his 4th kick. 77 points the margin. Straight in front. Marnie puts everything into that kick, and he has got it. So the Magpies respond. 18-7 now. North 5-2.
And Marnie popping up alone in the forward pocket, or the forward flank. The overlap to Hutton. And Port Adelaide are destroying North across the centre. Their 2 wingmen and Stephen Williams are playing brilliantly. And Wayne Marnie kicked accurately from about 30 metres.
And the margin back to 83 points. 18-7 Port. North Adelaide 5-2. Redden back in the ruck. Darren Jarman kicked it off the pack up towards half forward. Fiacci comes out. Hand pass was loose. Here's Sims. He's propping on that left leg. Ben Hart, touch of the fumbles, allows Mark Williams in. A hurried kick to Johnston. Now look at the run at Tregenza on the outer side wing. He draws the player out to Hines. The knock back to Tregenza. Outside 50. The lead's on from Hodges. Pushed out but unseen by the umpire. And back there in defence is Turner. He gets it from Perkins. A long kick by Peter Turner. Out in the Darren Jarman direction. And he met Hutton very heavily. That could be reportable. As Craig goes in and meets Brown.
David Hutton, eyes only for the ball. Darren Jarman for the man. And a dangerous incident. Hutton somehow got up. He's standing back ready to kick.
And let's have a look at umpire Kinnear. If he can get at Darren Jarman, he may well in fact take his number.
There's 3 umpires there, David, 2.
Well, they were both running a flat out, Daryl.
A lot of courage, perhaps too much courage from David Hutton. And Darren Jarman late, with Hutton given 50 metres.
So 83 points the margin. And Hutton will surely boot Port Adelaide's 19th. We've played 4 minutes in the third term. He's been a prolific possession gatherer on his centre wing, David Hutton. His 11th kick coming up. 5 metres out, chips away, and he puts it through, his first. And the Magpies boot their 19th.
Well, they've been single-minded, the Magpies. David Hutton had eyes only for the ball. Darren Jarman for the man. And the 50-metre penalty opened up the pack, got rid of the nastiness, and put the major on the board.
Unlike Darren Jarman.
Well, I suppose it's finals and coaches want some demand. He'd be frustrated, but certainly he hasn't done that a lot in his career, but it was a nasty incident.
It's a thrashing. Port a 19-7, 121. North 5 goals to 32. And it's back in the centre. Redden and Johnston. It comes to the side. Clisby runs straight into Williams. Got the kick away, but it was just a short one. And as it turned out, it was holding the ball, and Williams has possession on the attacking side of centre. Long one. That's a long spiral screw punt. Hodges couldn't control it. Hart, Lehman. Marnie's got Lehman. Hart there as well. And the defence of North Adelaide working overtime over the head of Johnston. Through comes Bennett. Now Craig, who gets the Bronx cheers. Phillips. Williams. Comes to the side. Abernathy. A short kick. No mark taken. Williams again. This time it was Mark. Play on. Ginnivan looking for someone up forward. Long kick to Smith. Couldn't control it. It comes to the side, and Tregenza, very dangerous player. Round he goes, and he has scored. It's a brilliant goal by Tregenza. His 13th kick, and Port storm away 27 to North 5-2.
Well, that ball was definitely touched by defender Perkins, but we'll watch the action as Tregenza brought it back. Perkins was in the play, touched the ball off the hand, and the goal umpire, who was not unsighted, has put 2 hands up.
So the Magpies lead by 94, 5 points I should say. Somewhat of a lucky break there for Port Adelaide in attack. Here's Stephen Williams, concedes ground, looks for support, comes in the form of Hutton, opposed to Tregenza. The foot pass is beautiful. Smith back to Hutton, inside 50, long kick by David Hutton. This will go through. No, hit the post. So unlucky for David Hutton. He received a big knock moments ago. And Port Adelaide 28-128. Lead North Adelaide 5-2-32.
Well, the pass was brilliant to Darren Smith. The overlap to Hutton. What courage he's shown. In previous years, he's done similar events. A lightly built player with a lot of what it takes.
96 points, this massive margin. Sanders out wide. Darren Jarman the target. Jarman falls over. Now Hines short to Brown is good. 60 metres out. Hodges calling for it long. 12th kick to Brown. Left footer. It's a long one. It'll fall just short. Hines and Hodges and Smith. And Wanganeen runs onto it. He's still got it in play. Back it goes to Williams. Mark Williams round the corner, and he's missed to the right, but that could have easily have been, Darryl, another goal to Port.
Well, the players, I believe, thought it had gone through for a point. Of course, more than half the ball has to be over the line. In fact, all the ball has to be over the line. It's close. The shadow was there, and the goal umpire well placed.
Port lead by 97. Lehman has it on the outer side half-back flank. 6th kick for Troy Lehman. Finds Bennett in the centre. Here's Daryl Hart. He's lifted his game up towards half-forward. Ben Hart versus Rosonico. Rosonico too much strength. Slips it back to Harris. An underground kick may come unstuck. Coming through is Hart. That's beautifully intercepted by Hutton. Long kick to centre wing. Fisted clear by Darren Smith. Here's Wanganeen. Oh! A lasso around the head, and the youngster's down.
And behind the play, Stephen Sims and Ben Harris meet. The tackle, late, he ducked, too high, and a free.
Now Hodges breaks in the pocket. Marnie's behind the pack. Also Redden, he's on one leg, a groin injury. Backtracks to Ryan. North Adelaide defence under heaps of pressure, and Ryan's caught holding the ball. Marnie improves the angle and snaps, but he doesn't bring it back enough. So Port Adelaide 20 goals, 10, 130, lead North 5-2-32.
Well, who'd be a football coach? Michael Noonan's got his headaches. Some more nightmares in the off-season, and Port Adelaide are single-minded, aggressive and attacking the ball.
think he'd have a migraine by now, Darryl. 20-10 to 5-2. Half back. Williams runs onto it. Craig was with him. Williams, that hand pass a little loose. Dixon. Now the chance for Craig. Looking for Ben Hart. Almost the mark. Had to bend the back and stretch the arms. And there'll be a throw in at right half forward for North Adelaide. 20 goals, 10 to 5-2, and we've played 9 3/4 minutes of the third quarter of the prelim final. The winner to go through to next week's grand final against Glenelg. And at this stage, it looks as though it will be the Magpies. Another throw in, right half forward.
Bennett's turn on the ball with Redden trying hard. He probably had an injection at half-time, I would think. And Bennett now at centre half forward doing battle with Johnston.
We've played 10 minutes, third term of the prelim. Sims squares it, looking for Daryl Hart. Good body work versus Northeast, but good persistence by Paul Northeast. Should have earned him the free kick. Sanders turns inboard and shoots, but he's way offline, David Sanders, and he's out of play on the floor.
And a pro-Magpie crowd.
Abernathy short. Sorry, Daryl. As Mark Williams tidies up onto Fiacci. Here's Brown. Lovely sidestep. Off the side of the boot. The kick skews, though, and it's out of play on the at left half forward, I should say, for Port Adelaide. 20-10, 1:30. The Magpies North 5-2-32. We've played 11 minutes, third term. Big crowd here at Football Park. Perfect conditions. Very mild spring day. Turner takes it off the pack. Here's Marnie. Knocks it wide. This is Peter Turner. Pushing the back, so he earned the free kick.
And he's been one of their best. He's taken some good strong marks, played tight.
10th kick, Turner off his half-back line. Long. The target is Bennett, but 2 to fly against. Here's Lehman. Over the top, looking for Craig. A poor hand pass. Phillips in the way, and Abernathy as well.
Well, the experienced defence, the former Collingwood and North Melbourne player, the former Collingwood centre half back. And Craig gave way to the might of Phillips.
The mighty Magpies by 98 points. Williams pulled off the football when he didn't have it. Long kick into the teeth of goal for North Adelaide. Chance for Hart, the captain. Big opportunity for them to score here. Burton, and he has got it. 6 goals to North. North are 6 goals to 38. That was Burton's second. And Porter 20 goals, 10, 130.
Well, always under pressure. Burton knocked the body strength to go with Harris. Hart there. Could have kicked. Off to Burton in a better position. And Craig just had time before the defence descended.
Burton's second goal, and Port Adelaide 20-10, 1:30. Lead North Adelaide 6-2-38. The Magpies by 92 points. Saliba in the centre. The touch of the fumbles. Knocks it back. Jennifer goes in hard. Went without the footy. Quick kick by Mark Williams to space at left half forward. Ryan comes out. Clisby's met. Good experience by Trevor Clisby. Support from Turner. 11th kick by Peter Turner. Sims, he's on one leg, but he's kicked 2 to the space at left half forward. Ben Hart comes out, back to Darryl, his skipper, twisting and turning. Looking for Craig at left half forward. A good tap on, looking for Sanders. Now North leads some luck. Sanders onto the left side, long kick, Bennett, and he marks it right forward pocket. It'll be paid. He's tight on the angle, but he's a left footer.
Dropping back. Nothing Phillips could do. The kick was well placed by Sanders. So they're lifting a little in confidence.
Peter Bennett, the vice-captain, his 5th kick coming up. Improves the angle and brings it back beautifully. Good goal by Peter Bennett, his first. And North Adelaide boot their 7th.
Well, a bit of noise and encouragement. 3 goals apiece in the third. Craig tried the tap back. Missed Sanders, but he followed up well. Got a lot of power in both legs, David Sanders. The ball evading Phillips. Bennett eyes only for the ball. And then the kick when he brought it back. The reverse banana and a good goal.
3 goals apiece to Port and North Adelaide in this quarter, so The Roosters have kept with the Magpies so far. 14.5 minutes, third term. They need a few more, and they need a few more very quickly. Johnston to Brown. Marshall missed it. Wanganeen. Now Tregenza. Sanders is very quick, but he's not quick enough for Tregenza. Tregenza's kick, and have a look at that. Just hovering in front of the pack is Hodges, his 9th mark. And he shouldn't have too much trouble with this, Darryl.
Only 5 metres out. Perkins not able to apply any physical pressure.
Has 7 goals. Looking for 8, and has got it. 21 goals, 10, 136 Port. North are 7 goals, 244.
Well, the options at half-time were who else could play full-back and do as well as Perkins. But look at Tregenza. Inside Sanders. Put the ball in quickly. Bradley Ryan was hurled by Hines. And Hodges is playing brilliantly.
And Scott Hodges is going to give Rick Davies' goal-kicking record a bit of a nudge. Port Adelaide 21-10, 136. North 7-2, 44. It's been an outstanding season from Hodges. And he combines the spectacular things with the hard stuff as well. The bounce in the centre. Redden won it down. Darren Jarman. Clean bowled Hutton on the grandstand centre wing. He was pinned back. Back towards Abernathy. Good hand pass by Hutton. He looks inboard. A tumble punt kick to half forward. Mark Williams. He spilt them up, but he's back in there once again. Body over the ball. And at left half forward, the bounce will occur by umpire Mark Mackey.
Well, they're all playing with great confidence now. Abernathy, a little bit of a curtain over his head with the injury in recent weeks, is now playing brilliantly.
Port by 92. Sims in defence. He kicks for touch, looks for the boundary line. It'll end up with Abernathy, or will it? Does he keep it in play? No. It's out of bounds, courtesy of Trevor Dixon. Attacking side of centre wing for the Magpies. The breeze favouring the lake end here at Football Park. Redden and also Darren Smith, who made front position. Saliba, who's been quiet. Up towards Craig. It was Saliba's 3rd kick. Neil Craig's at right half forward. Kick was smothered. May come unstuck. Marnie needs support. He fed it out looking for Abernathy. Tackled beautifully by Saliba. Now we have free kick to the Magpies. Going in hard was Tim Ginniver. And he earns it at left half back.
Van Zeta waiting to come on for North Adelaide. 21-10 to 7 goals 2. They switch play. A lot of Port Adelaide players over there. One of them was Smith. The other one is Mark Williams. Look at that. Should have been a ballerina. Wanganeen, lovely hand pass. Tregenza, long one, goal. 4 goals to Tregenza. That was his 15th kick. It's 22-10, 142. North are 7 goals, 244.
Again, a passage of play. Marnie, Darren Smith tapping on. Williams finding Wanganeen, whose reflexes are brilliant, got great vision. Tregenza, a receiver who is able to win the ball, and he kicked accurately.
4th goal, Simon Tregenza. So the Magpies by 98 points, 22-10 to 7-2. It's in the centre. Ginniver, who's been a hard worker, out towards the direction of Tregenza. It's loose. Sanders gets it back to Saliba. He dummied well, Adam Saliba. Long kick looking for Sims. He's kicked 2, Stephen Sims. Quite obviously has a leg injury. His 9th kick coming up. He goes long searching for Van Zeta. Back there Fiarchi, and he's been a pillar of strength. He looks inboard to northeast. Even wider to the run of Hines. Very mobile for a big man, but didn't do that all that well. It's loose. Burton comes out. Lost his footing. Bodies go in hard. Ben Harris as well as Darren Jarman and Daryl Hart. But umpire Mackey will bounce just wide of the point of the square.
There are a lot of players going to ground, slipping. The turf is hard. Hines, the player who lost possession. Hart also.
98 points, Port Adelaide's lead. Hart inside 50, straight to George Fiarchi, the back pocket player. Rosonico, he's got a week and a half to pick up. Back to Fiarchi. Abernathy's loose, but Fiarchi's going to go longer than that. Long one to Hutton. No mark. Dixon was with him. Saliba. away from the wing. Little short pass. It was a lovely pass too. It went straight to Abernathy. That wasn't intentional, of course. Brown in front of the members. Got 2 to beat. And the way things are going, he'll do it. And he does. Round the corner to Smith. Beautifully done. Now Hutton. Wanganeen, no. Goes it alone. Long one. Hodges the target. Yes.
You can't beat that play. The movement came in so quickly. It found him 1 out against Perkins. Noonan is obviously considering a change. Ryan would not have the physical strength, and so he is sitting.
Has 8. This is his 13th kick. It's pretty good. It's good enough. It's another one to Port, another one to Hodges, and another nail in the coffin. 23-10 to 7 goals 2.
Well, the runner has gone out. David Brown, that mop of hair, got it forward. Darren Smith off to Hutton, who has been inspirational. And 1 out. Hodges, too clever, dropping back, and little that Hodges could do. Clisby now has been moved on to Scott Hodges.
In the centre, Darren Jarman, long kick to centre half forward. In the way now he was met very heavily. Greg Phillips. Fiachi wasn't happy with the attention. Either was Abernathy, who goes in pretty hard.
And Mark Williams is looking after his teammates. The ball in late, Sims late, and seemingly deliberate.
Phillips out wide, looking for Tregenza. Opposed to Sanders. Here's Craig. He's got some space on the outer side centre wing. Looks in short, but a poor kick. Intercepted beautifully by Wanganeen. He broke the tackle well. Darren Smith at centre half forward marks. Now a runner out wide, Tregenza. No, it's Wanganeen. Inside 50, chips, and he goes! Sensational solo effort by Gavin Wanganeen, his 10th kick. And his 2nd goal. The Magpies boot their 24th.
Well, we've lost this player to Essendon. Have a look at the action. The first one was brilliant. It took a one-handed mark. Darren Smith gave off to Gavin Wanganeen from 48 metres at top pace. What a kick. What a play.
Well, Port beat North Adelaide by over 90 points in last year's grand final. They now lead by 110 in the prelim final of 1990. 24-10 to 7 goals 2. And what must Mike Noonan be thinking, the coach of the Roosters? Up onto the half-forward line. Marnie at the back, lurking dangerously. Marshall away from the half-back line. An awkward kick straight to Fiachi. A wonderful back pocket player. Marnie, yes. Was it? No, it's out of bounds. Well, he went for it. He did everything he could. But he both spilt the mark and also the ball was out of bounds. It was a great attempt, though, Darryl.
Yes, gave it everything. Dive full length. That's Wayne Marnie. They don't come any tougher or any more courageous.
22 3/4 minutes, 3rd quarter of this prelim final. Over the head of Johnston. He lost sight of it. And North Adelaide, what can they do? Bennett in front, Phillips from behind, and does some very useful work. Forces it over the line, and there'll be a throw-in in front of the members.
Now, Bennett is a player who can run and create space, but the poor kicking has enabled Phillips to hold him tight.
The Magpies by 110 points, almost a throw by Peter Bennett. Ends up with Sims. Here's Ben Hart, forced to ground. Saliba needs support, looks for Daryl Hart. It was a poor hand pass. Abernathy at centre half back. This fellow's got a lot of experience with his 14th kick. Goes out wide. Darren Smith, also Tregenza. He turns inboard. Support coming from Ben Harris, well down from his defensive zone. He plays on. Can he kick a goal? Ben Harris from the 50-metre line. Let's fly. A defender's kick out of bounds on the full.
And Ben has to run all the way back. But such is the confidence of the defence that he overlapped 3 lines, then got to within 50 metres.
The 27-year-old goes back to defence. It's 24-10 to 7 goals 2. Craig trying to lift his side. The experienced Craig. Smith's got him. Forces the error. Now Marnie, a 25-metre hand pass. They've got a chance here. Georgie Porgy round the corner, and he has missed. It's out of bounds.
Well, there is a saying, like a backman. First the fullback, then his teammate, the back pocket player, 2 out of bounds on the full.
I think there's a slight message in that as Hines marks at right half forward. 80 metres out for the Magpie goal. Hodges on a long lead. Knocked to ground. Turner collides with Saunders. Comes out to Perkins, who's been switched off Hodges. A long kick to the outer side centre wing. Good mark taken there by North East. No play on the call. And it's out of play.
Well, the individual duels are humorous. There were a couple of nasty incidents, and the play is now back with concentration.
In the ruck, we have Hines and Bennett. Bennett knocks it to ground. Goes back and gets it. Off to Daryl Hart. Here's Craig. Needs support. Gets it in the form of Darren Jarman, who's been quiet. Long kick searching for Burton. It's knocked wide of the pack. Chance here for Rosonico, but he's tackled, pulled off the ball. And the free kick to the former Collingwood player, Paul Rosonico.
That's the take. No ball. Van Zetta infringing.
110 points the margin. Lovely kick to Hines by Rosonico. That hand pass was a good one too. And this is the brilliant Wanganeen. Infield to Williams. 60 metres out and closing. Long kick by Williams, and that is a behind.
Well, it's the balance of the Port Adelaide side. They have mobility in their big men, and the likes of Wanganeen, Tregenza, Ginniver and Brown have been good link men.
And Perkins will be claimed in defence. Chance here for Stephen Williams. Is jarred wide of the pack. Perkins goes in once again. Support coming from Daryl Hart. He's well inside his defensive 50. He kicks with the left boot. His 8th kick, Daryl Hart. Over towards Lehman. In fact, his 13th, I should say. Daryl Hart, long kick by Lehman, but a vacant centre-half forward position for North Adelaide. And Phillips clears. Long kick. Hutton, great courage. He runs away from Dixon. He lets fly outside 50, but he's offline. And David Hutton has showed great courage on many occasions. 112 points the margin, the Magpies lead.
They continue to dominate with their on-ball players and their centre line. They've been unbeatable and hence the opportunity so many forwards.
Clisby. Long one outside of 50. No mark taken. Dixon. Picked up by Hart. Now to Redden. Short one to Van Zetta. Missed it. Fiarchi. Now Van Zetta outnumbered 2-1. Fiarchi, bit of quickness, but he was forced off the ball and the error, and it's out of bounds on the full. So North Adelaide will take this.
And Redden using the left leg. Obviously the right groin is impairing his movement.
This is Dixon. Awkward looking kick, but Craig was there waiting for it.
High in North's best.
11th kick for Craig. Right half forward. Ben Hart in the middle of the pack, and Bennett is there as well. Centre half forward Bennett did some ruck work last week. Long kick. Burton couldn't control it. Jarman, who as David mentioned has been quiet. Long hand pass, and as you can hear, the roar from the crowd indicates another Port Adelaide build-up. Tregenza to North East, a half-back flanker. Look at that kick by North East. It is a long one, but it is offline to the left-hand side. We don't see that too often, Darryl. North East kicking or attempting to kick goals.
No, he's got an ungainly action, but a backman is still not gold. The movement is there, the accuracy is missing.
Saunders at left half-back, chips in short. Here's Sanders. A hurry kick looking for Saliba at left half forward. Tregenza goes in late. It's forced wide. Here's Hines bearing down Saliba. A free kick to David Hines. He was held onto. So the margin 113 points. Hines' 7th kick to centre wing. Came unstuck. Darren Jarman onto Burton. Broke the tackle well. Outside 50. Now here's a chance. Daryl Hart's got a panic. Should run into the open goal and boot North Adelaide's 8th. He does. With his 14th kick, he boots his 2nd goal. And North Adelaide edge back somewhat. 29 minutes, 3rd term of the prelim.
Well, the structure of the game has gone. Darren Jarman got it out to Burton. He was able to get through. Hart had dropped back on Fiarchi. Kicked his 2nd goal for the quarter. Still getting the Bronx cheer in memory of last week's aggression against South Adelaide. But not a lot of structure in this game. It's a pretty untidy scrap with the Magpies dominant.
And Darryl, that margin 107 points. Well into the third quarter, 29.5 minutes of the prelim final. That was magnificent. Williams, Hodges over his head at the back of the pack. The big chances for Marnie. Now Smith, they're there in numbers, but Smith lost that one then. And Turner out of bounds on the full. Brown will get underneath it. Take your pick. It's out of bounds or a Brown mark.
It's the little things that they do. The pressure, the tackle and the block. They bring errors.
So Brown with his 14th kick. He squares it for his forward. Now there's a player down. It's Hodges. The whistle goes and the free kick is going Hodges' way. So he casually gets up. He's got 9 goals to his name.
The fly, the push, and the umpire well positioned to apply the free.
And David will have to check that Rick Davies record in a minute because he may break it. This is his 14th kick. He's kicked 9 goals. And he's got 10 now. So 25 goals, 13 Port Adelaide. And North are 8 goals, 250. And we played 30.5 minutes.
Well, what play? Obviously, fullback Clisby is providing a little bit too much attention. But watch carefully, he was in front. It didn't look a big push, but certainly he was in front of Clisby.
And that record by Rick Davies, 151 goals. Hodges has now got 144, 134 before the match started. So a great performance by the Magarey medalist. With 10 goals, we've played 31.5 minutes of the third term. 163 playing 50. Mark Williams goes out wide. Here's Hutton, who's played a great game for the Magpies. He's tackled well, though, by Ryan. Spills free. Ben Hart, his second league game, up towards right half forward, but a vacant forward line for the Roosters. The bounce may favour Craig. Coming through hard was Abernathy. A loose hand pass falls in the arms of Saliba. He's got time to steady Adam Saliba. One bounce, undecided, 2 bounces, and that just reflects the vacant forward line by North Adelaide. There's just no confidence moving forward, and it's out of bounds on the full.
And how unlike last week. They moved with method against South Adelaide. They had winners in key position, and they had a focal point in Darren Jarman, who kicked 9 goals.
113 points this margin. Rosonico short to Abernathy. '15th kick to Abernathy. Phillips. Hart will stand the mark. Phillips changes direction. Unusual, to say the least.
Well, he normally comes down from centre-half back and has drop kicks for goal, and that's where he was looking for an own goal. Abernathy's giving him the message, I think. If they weren't so far in front, it would not be funny. I wonder whether Jack Cale is laughing.
25-13 to 8 goals 2. That really was comical, wasn't it, under the circumstances? Hart, he wouldn't have found it funny. Burt, great mark. An inspirational mark, Darryl, but far too late.
Yes, Craig's got 2 goals. The ball was centred. He went high. Harris was out of position. And the wingman come half forward, come full forward, looking for his 3rd.
9th kick coming up. Craig Burton, 25 metres out, stabs at it and gets it. 9 goals to 56 now, North. They're a long way away. Port at 25-13, 163.
It's a long third term. Port Adelaide have dominated again. Darryl Hart centred the ball, brought it back. Burton between 2 Port Adelaide players, Hines and Ginnivan.
So we're seconds away from three-quarter time. The Magpies by 107 points, 25-13 to North Adelaide 9-2. Hines wins it down. Here's Marshall coming through hard, but Hines picks it up on the second attempt. Long kick, will the bounce favour Hodges? No, Darren Smith, seconds tick out, and Smith's kick will not register. So Port Adelaide at three-quarter time, 25-13, 163, lead North 9-2-56.
Last quarter of the prelim final, 25-13 to 9 goals 2. That margin, 107 points in favour of the Magpies. It's North Adelaide going forward to the half-forward line. That kick by Hart. Out comes Burton. He's got 3 to contend with, do you mind? One of them was Fiacci and the other was Phelps, and it's out of bounds. Darryl.
Port have certainly got numbers to the fall of the ball in defence, and that's kept the pressure on.
25-13 to 9 goals 2. It's been all Port Adelaide in this preliminary final. North kicked the first goal of the game, and from that point, Port Adelaide have dominated. Throw in right forward pocket, Saliba, Williams, now Ginniver, Phelps, Williams again, that's Stephen, goes out wide. Ben Hart comes in, does particularly well. Sims is there as well, and it's out of bounds on that far side.
Well, it's been a fairly relaxing game here at Football Park, and I think John Kay will be pretty happy with the performance. It's been a good run-up to a grand final.
I wonder if she was knitting a North Adelaide Guernsey. Here's Fiacci in defence. Long kick to the outer side centre wing. Coming through hard was Hutton. It's forced wide. Here's a chance for Ben Hart. He's got the run of it, but well met there by Ginniver. A hurry kick coming out as Turner. A loose hand pass ends up with Daryl Hart, the skipper. He chips in short. Darren Jarman. Very quiet, but lets fly with a big torpedo punt to half forward Bennett. Marks inside 50.
Definitely one of their best players, better players, Bennett. He's worked hard.
His 7th kick coming up, Peter Bennett. And his 6th mark. So, as Darryl mentioned, he's been a hard worker. 1 goal, lets fly from 45. Good kick by Peter Bennett. And North Adelaide boot their 10th, and Bennett scores his 2nd.
Yes, he's been a good player at centre-half forward, despite the fact that he's had the awesome power and strength and weight of Phillips. One of Jarman's few kicks, he has had trouble getting into this game. He's stayed at, he's had 12 kicks, but he stayed at full forward for the first half, was shifted into the play late in the second quarter, but has been relatively quiet.
163 to 62, 101 points. Port Adelaide's lead. Hart, it's Ben Hart. Phelps had to make up a bit of ground, but took an easy mark on his chest out wide to Phillips. Hart's there as well. Does well for a youngster, just 16 years old. Past Dixon. Fiacci tries to keep it in play, tries to swing it round his body, but it is out of bounds on the full on the far side.
Well, the crowd would be disappointed. I thought that North Adelaide would certainly get closer to Port Adelaide, but Port are playing to form. They've got virtually every player fit and now in form.
And Craig goes long. The leap from Peter Bennett. And there's a free kick to the Magpies. It'll go to Phelps in defence. Inside his defensive 50. Looks out towards Hutton on the outer side wing. Perkins comes out well. A hurry kick, though, off the side of the boot. He didn't really look, but that's been the characteristic of North Adelaide. Their forward line non-existent. As Fiacci, the hand pass good to Phillips. Here's Ginniver over the top to Stephen Williams. Defensive side of centre wing. Makes space. Now Wanganeen breaks. Look at this fellow run. Left half forward, blistering pace. He centres the ball. Chance here for Marnie, but Clisby comes out beautifully. Traps it and gets it off to Bradley Ryan.
Long kick by Ryan to the eastern side. There's a good mark taken by Jarman. Slick hand pass across to Craig. Draws the player. And the opportunity now for Burton, who's 50 metres out. Let's go with a long drop punt, and has got it with his 10th kick. 4th goal to Burton. 11 goals to North. They're 11 goals to 68. Port 25-13, 163.
Well, good rebounding from Clisby, setting up the play. Darren Jarman got the hand pass off quickly to Craig. Craig's perhaps been North Adelaide's best player today. One of their most mature players. Burton got inside, 12th kick, a brilliant long 50-metre kick. So the stretcher on the far side of the ground. Port wouldn't be taking any risks at all. It looks like a calf or an ankle. And Port would be pretty anxious. It occurred when Jarman, it's Ginniver underneath. He pushed him off. It's a bruised buttock, and maybe he's hurt his leg.
And that would be a body blow for the grand final next week. Ginniver's been a good player with 14 kicks today, Tim Ginniver. And his co-rover, Brown, has also been a fine playmaker with 15 kicks. Ginniver's had 6 hand passes. Ben Harris warms up on the boundary line.
So Port are not quite so badly placed, though. They've got Setri and Kemp at least. Marnie they can use. And once again, we look, the leg is out. It's the buttock or the brace of the base of the spine. It'll be pretty sore stuff. And as he hits the ground, the arm is under. He grabs his leg as well. So maybe it is the leg injury.
So Port Adelaide hold sway by 95 points, 25-13 to 11-2. 5.5 minutes, final term of the prelim. Here's Tregenza. On to Mark Williams. Around the body, looking for Darren Smith. Leading out Perkins. He turns inboard. Undecided Darren Smith. In the end goes for a poor option into the pocket, a dead pocket here at Football Park. And it's out of play.
Well, Darren Smith has fought back to form. He's been a big boost to them. They need somebody at centre-half forward who can run and palm the ball off to their running centre line.
So the Magpies deep in attack. Redden. Here's Hines. A snapshot towards goal is offline and again out of bounds.
So they'd be pleased also with David Hines. He's lifted his game. He's now being instructed by the runner. Johnston and Hines, a pretty mobile knock-rucking pair.
95 points, Port Adelaide's lead. Harris. Now Hodges, and Clisby is with him as Ginniver is being taken around the boundary line on that stretcher. 25-13 to 11 goals 2. 7 minutes of the last quarter of the prelim final. It'll be Port and Glenelg in this year's grand final. This is Saunders, former Essendon reserves player. Off the half-back line. Centre wing. Bennett from behind. Good mark. Hits the ground running. Decides to go into the pocket. Lovely little pass to Burton. He's got it. And George Fiarchi just comes across and says, don't run off, fella. I'm standing the mark.
Well, that's the form of Bennett. Given space, he is a good fly and has strong hands. And the kick to Burton, just clear, set him up to mark.
Darryl, he's got 3 goals. 1 in the second, 2 in the third. And he's missed to the right-hand side.
Well, the confidence is down. Another one to remember.
I'll just correct that, Darryl. He's got 4, actually. 1 in the second, 2 in the third, 1 in the fourth.
And Timmy Ginniver, he's got the head up. He'd be pretty anxious at this moment. Wouldn't want to miss a grand final.
In defence, here's Fiarchi. Goes to Marnie in the centre. Now he looks out wide. Stephen Williams provides the run. Onto the left foot, looking for Hodges. He's pushed out. He'll get the free kick. He's got 10 to his name. 144 for the season. And he'll shoot from 30 metres.
Well, needing 7 goals to equal the record of 151 of Rick Davies from Sturt. A big round of applause for Timmy Ginniver, who was brilliant today. And Hodges. Ginniver leaves the field. Hodges shoots.
15th kick, Scott Hodges, and he tumbles it through. His 11th goal. So 145 for the season. Port Adelaide 26-13, 169. North Adelaide 11-3, 69.
Again control through half-forward line. Marnie put the ball wide. Gave it to Stephen Williams backing off. And he set up the play with Clisby once again infringing. And Hodges to ground. And what would Scott Hodges' value be on the transfer market?
Exactly 100 points. The margin now. Port lead. And they're on the march again. Tregenza as easy as you like. Long one over Johnston's head. The defence of North Adelaide under a lot of pressure, as it has been for most of the day. Marshall out wide. This is Ben Hart, the 16-year-old, getting a taste of big-time football. This will be a day he won't remember. That was his 6th kick. Marshall, Williams, Van Zetta. Williams does well. He was outnumbered initially 2-1, and there's a free kick. It's going
A bit too deliberate, I think.
So it'll go North Adelaide's way. 26-13 to 11 goals, 3. Jarman, long one. Inside 50, Burton. Fiachi. And it's out of bounds.
So no doubt the AFL spies know how valuable Scotty Hodges is, but 11 goals is a brilliant performance at the key goal-kicking spot.
And Port Adelaide lead exactly by the century. 100 points in defence for the Magpies. Sweeping hand pass by Phillips. And it's out of play. At right half forward, 26-13 Port Adelaide. North Adelaide 11-3. We're approaching the 11-minute mark of the final term. Big crowd on the members' side here at Football Park. A lot of happy Magpie supporters. Phillips in the ruck. He knocks it down. Here's Marnie. Looking for Abernathy out wide. And it's out of play. Well, Port Adelaide know they've got this game sewn up. And a grand final date with Glenelg next Sunday.
And always a risk that the players might drop their concentration. That's when injuries occur. And Coach John Cale will use his runner. He's going out right now to remind players of this fact.
Sims long to full forward. Burton has to contend with 2 Magpies. Got the speed, though, and he hooks goals for his 5th, Craig Burton. A fine effort off the pack, and North Adelaide boot their 12th.
Well, the ball over the top. Craig Burton always has the pace. Stephen Sims, despite injury, has been a good kick-getter. That use of the body was subtle, allowed by the umpire. And a quick goal.
The question is, Darryl, can Port do this all over again next week?
Well, it's not been that physical. There've been some incidents, but Burton's quick kick. But I think they would come up pretty well.
Glenelg and Port, the 1990 grand final. 26-13 to 12-3. And it's been a fine display by Port Adelaide in front of what's been a reasonable crowd. Marnie somehow through the congestion. Wanganeen, a 30-metre hand pass to Tregenza. Here he goes again, inside 50. He was going to give it to his captain, but he goes all the way himself. Little left footer, and as it turns out, that one didn't come off. And he might be a bit disappointed with himself there.
Well, just nothing opened up. He was looking for the movement. Wanganeen's vision, though, with that reflex hand pass was superb.
In defence is Saunders. A tumble punt kick falls in the arms of perhaps North Adelaide's best player, Neil Craig, in the opinion of Daryl Hicks. 13th kick. And he's had 15 hand passes, Neil Craig, so a big effort. And a big effort on that occasion by David Hines. His 9th mark, chips in short. The lead's provided by Darren Smith. It's loose. Here's Brown. A prolific gathering possession there by Brown. He turns. Northeast breaks. He'll run inside 50. Let's fly, long one. Hodges has 11, but it's out of bounds on the full.
And very conscious of Clisby in that game, the play. 6 goals to go to equal Davies' record.
Clisby, who's been through this before. Hines in late with 2 fists. Eyes only for the ball, I might add. Mick Redden, who Darryl is taking a while to get up.
Yes, we look at Port Adelaide and we say they are aggressive and we say they're vigorous and physical, but they do attack the ball.
Redden won that. Sims has to turn. Van Zetta over the top. Abernathy, though. Marnie was going to do the shepherding, but he didn't have to in the end. Abernathy's kick's a lovely one to Hutton, who marks just inside the boundary line. He's a kicking a bit out. Puts everything into it. Keeps it low for Hodges. Almost. Chance now. Hand pass across to Williams. Back it goes to Smith. They'll rattle this, and Hodges gets it. Unselfish play by Smith. Hodges puts his hands up. The victory sign. It's 27-13 to 12-3. And Rick Davies alongside of us in the 5D and commentary box. His record in danger.
Well, look at the way they play. Hodges got it over. Williams to Darren Smith. To Hodges. Clisby and Hodges are now in altercation in the square. He's a tough nut, is Trevor Clisby. I think he might have been getting a bit of lip from Scott Hodges, who would be advised to get on with the game.
Well, Tim Perkins started on Scott Hodges, now Trevor Clisby. who's done a bit better than Perkins, but Hodges still has 12 by his name. The bounce in the centre won by Hines. Comes down to Ben Hart. A kick out very wide to the outer side centre wing. The bounce favours Saliba, but Hutton does well. He tries to spin out of trouble. It's forced wide. Dixon onto Darren Jarman, who's been noticeably quiet. He chips into the space. The lead's provided by Bennett, and he takes an excellent mark.
He's had a good final term. He's kicked a goal early, but has taken some good marks.
His 8th mark, Peter Bennett, the Roosters vice-captain. And he's coming up for his 9th kick. He's kicked 2 goals. The breeze at his back. It's dropped slightly here at Football Park. Long kick, though. Great kick by Peter Bennett. And that is a good goal. From inside 50, he boots his 3rd, and North Adelaide get their 13th.
Well, he has been a winner for North in the second half. Good pressure from the juniors. Ben Hart got it out. Dixon the overlap. Darren Jarman chipped it forward. And Bennett high and in front of Phelps. Rather, number 20 was Greg Phillips.
Back to 94 points. The Magpies lead, as they've done for most of the day, apart from early in the first quarter when North kicked the first goal. Hines, left footer. Hodges from behind, tries to pick up. Harris, yes to Marnie, no, the push, so it'll go back. And Clisby is having a few words with the umpire, and I think he might have got caught out then, Darryl.
Well, I think that's at least 3 free kicks against Clisby.
Yep.
Well, there was no ball. Hodges went to ground, and I think it's a legitimate free.
12 goals to Hodges, this for 13. 17th kick coming up. A lot of concentration on this young man's face, and he has put it through for another one. 28-13, 13-3. It's a drubbing at Football Park in the prelim final. We've played 17 minutes of the last term.
Well, the goals to Hodges in the final quarter have come from frees in the main and good team play. And there's no doubt about that Trevor Clisby was intending to play very close. You must be careful when a player is between you and the ball.
And a crowd of 24,928 witnessing a fantastic display here by Port Adelaide. 100 points the margin. Scott Hodges with 13 goals. It's in defence for the Magpies. Abernathy to Tregenza. He's on the burst once again. The lead's provided by Hodges. He traps it beautifully back to Smith. He couldn't quite pick it up. He's tucked away on the angle. Darren Smith needs support. Tregenza in the pocket. It's bottled up in defence for Roosters, and it's forced out of play now. So in the right full forward pocket, 181 playing 81. The Magpies lead by exactly 100 points.
Hodges just limping a little bit as he moves back.
Johnston and Hodges. Darren Jarman, Sims. Out wide to his skipper Hart, who remembers a similar situation last year. Now Ryan in front of the members towards centre half forward, and Bennett. Northeast picks up, needs support, outnumbered now 2-1. Dixon and Northeast battle it out. In the meantime, Craig comes in, so does Bennett, holding the ball. Port Adelaide's free kick.
Single-minded in defence. Northeast, the epitome of what is Port Adelaide, strong and aggressive.
Excellent work by the half-back flanker. And this is Phelps. Long one, right half forward. Johnston was held out of it. He'll get the free kick. The Port skipper. Short. Hodges. Now the chance is for the North Adelaide defence. Clisby. Out wide he goes. This is Saunders. Over the top. Perkins, who won't forget this day in a hurry. Back to Saunders on centre wing. Got to get rid of it quickly, and does, but there's just no one there. Port Adelaide in numbers, Phillips, and he just is happy to concede the behind. 28-14, 28-13, North 13-4.
Stephen Williams, then the desperate chase, applied the pressure for the Magpies.
Port lead by 99 points. Mark Williams in defence. Out wide to brother Stephen. He's at left half back. Chips in short. The lead's provided by Hutton, who overran it, allowed Ben Hart in. On to captain Darrell. Back to Ben. Grandstand, or the outer side centre wing. Long kick by Hart. Bennett from behind, but Hines in front. The mark wasn't paid. It's loose, but the Magpies, all the numbers in defence. Fiachi tries to separate the pack. And a good tackle applied by Saliba.
Well, George couldn't get clear. He's maintained the form of last week, however. One of his few errors. That was a high tackle from Saliba, but Fiachi trapped.
Adam Saliba, 20 senior games, coming up for his 7th kick. He'll kick from 48 metres out. A long one by Saliba. Not quite the carry. It's forced to ground. Hines, a good hand pass over the top to Brown. He's got a runner out wide in northeast. Good combination by the Magpie defence. Paul northeast off his half-back line. He looks up towards Wanganeen. Coming out is Saunders. No, it's Turner. Sanders on to Ryan. Grandstand centre wing. He chips into the space, but too easy for the Magpie defence. It hasn't been put by the North Adelaide running players well into their forward line. And Hines clears with a hand pass out to Rosonico. Here's Stephen Williams. He's got 20 metres in front of him and Saliba on the outer side centre wing, his 15th kick. And Harris on the break marks at left half forward. Started off in defence, Ben Harris. He's invited to play on. Went outside 50. Support from Fiachi. He now steadies. The lead's on there from Darren Smith. No mark on the half volley. Play on the call. And Clisby clears with a hand pass out towards Saliba.
I don't think Smith could believe that, David. Saliba, a long one. Hart. Half back line. Over the centre. Bennett. And he's got him. No, yes, he's been paid.
Well, he certainly fumbled that mark, and Wayne Marnie was in to take.
28-13, 13-4. Straight down the throat of Hines. Rosonico, former Collingwood player. That's a long kick to Hutton out very wide, and he's got it on his chest. Hutton plays on quickly. Still outside 50. Williams about to run onto it. So too Turner. Didn't shrug the issue then, Turner either. Now Marshall, 2 youngsters working well. Saliba, another youngster for North Adelaide. Out wide to the experienced Darren Jarman, who unusually gets the Bronx cheers. Long one inside 50. Craig was there, Burton was there, couldn't control it. Picked up by Rosonico. Not sure which option. Eventually he goes to Marnie out very wide. And it's the mark or the free kick or the push in the back. Take your pick. Off the half-back line.
The Magpies by 99 points. Wayne Marnie with his 7th kick. Looks in short to David Hines, who kicks with the left foot, searching for Darren Smith at left half forward. A much improved effort by Darren Smith this week. He kicks the centre half forward. Turner. The hand pass was loose. Ends up with Stephen Williams. Good shot by Stephen Williams, but just offline to the far side. So Port Adelaide again lead by the century, 100 points. We've played 23 minutes, final term of the prelim.
I wonder if he's consoling her. Black and white and red and white.
A minute and a half from time on in this, the last quarter of the prelim final. And Port Adelaide have turned it on in front of this pretty good crowd. This is Tregenza having a great battle with Sanders, who just gives him a little nudge. Umpire Mark Mackey comes across. Didn't want anything of that.
And the push. Just happy to take it out.
100 points the margin. The Magpies in front. Williams. His kick was smothered by Darren Jarman. The runners for North Adelaide. Somehow Ryan ended up with it. Hart, infield. Turner from centre half forward. Kicks it inside 50. Burton getting in front. Phelps had 2 to beat. Burton picks up with one hand. Did that well. Kicked a bag of goals today. He's been one of the few North Adelaide winners off the ground. And it'll just through for a behind.
Well, if Michael Noonan was asked, I wonder if he would admit praying for the final siren to come and take away the agony. It's almost a replay of last year. They've kicked at least 13 goals this season, but very, very disappointing.
We're approaching time on. Big mark by Darren Jarman, but somewhat belated late in the final turn. And those skills have been sorely missed, Darryl.
Well, we've seen Darren Jarman do this, particularly last week, and Michael Noonan put a lot of emphasis on his success. Noonan, of course, is lacking manpower, and he needed Darren Jarman to fire.
15th kick, Darren Jarman from 50, stabs, and he's offline. Sums up North's day. The Roosters 13-6-84, Port Adelaide 28-14, 182.
When you're hot, and when you're not, you're definitely not.
25.5 minutes, last quarter. Brown, lovely pass. It's taking a while to get up. He may have hit his head, Darryl, as he came down.
Well, he's pulled a hamstring, I think.
As though he was grabbing his head, but you could be right there.
Well, it could be the pain. I think it's that
it was
left leg.
Definitely the hamstring, if anything.
Well, they've lost Rowan Smith with a suspected jaw. Timmy Ginniver is off with, we think, a bruised spine or maybe a leg. And now David Brown goes down.
Wanganeen made about 15 or 20 metres for Port Adelaide, but he eventually lost it. And Turner comes away with it, the 16-year-old. Rosonico runs straight at him. Turner ran straight at Rosonico. As it turned out, they gained control again. This is Hart. He got it from Sims. Hart into the left forward pocket as Brown has come off the field. Hines is there with Dixon, and Brown gets a big reception as he's walking off.
Well, it could have been a cramp. There's always the chance that it's just late in the game when he's played so hard in hot conditions. He may be just a little bit of deficient nutrient, gone down with a cramp.
28-14 to 13-6, 182 plays, 84, and we're a minute and a half into the last turn.
Darren Jarman turns in board. Daryl Hart with one hand. Good mark. And the Brown injury could be unfortunate with Ginniver off the field. So the 20th kick for Daryl Hart. Short to Sims, who's carrying an injury. On to Craig. Here's Hart once again. He squares it, looking for Lehman, and it was well put. So Troy Lehman will shoot from 55 metres with his 8th kick. He looks in short, wasn't confident, and the lead, a good one by Bennett. So Bennett's kicked 3, and he's been a good player at centre-half forward for North Adelaide.
And he's been the dominant player in the last quarter, continued to work. Redden went back on the ball, and he's now at centre-half forward, is Peter Bennett.
11th kick, and he boots his 4th goal, Peter Bennett. A good effort from centre-half forward by the Roosters vice-captain. And Port Adelaide 28-14, 182. Lead North Adelaide 14-6-90.
He's kicked 3 goals in the final term. Again, got clear of the opponent and then kicked accurately with the trusty left foot. So vying for best for North in a forgettable game for the Roosters.
And a lot of the fans here leaving Football Park. 24-odd thousand here today to witness this one-sided affair. And on this performance, Darryl, Glenelg will have their hands full next week.
Well, confidence is everything, but Glenelg, of course, are a more physical and more aggressive side, as they showed when they knocked the Magpies off their confidence in the second semi.
Mark Mackey comes across. Williams gets up. 28.5 minutes of the final quarter in the prelim final in perfect conditions here at Football Park. 28-14 to 14 goals, 6. Hines doing the ruck work for Port Adelaide. Sadly, we'll miss him next year to the West Coast Eagles. Marnie out wide to northeast. Over the top he goes to the brilliant Tregenza. And from centre wing in front of the members, looking for Hodges. Not this time. He goes in again, outnumbered 2-1. Clisby, nice hand pass to Darren Jarman, and North Adelaide away.
Off half-back Jarman in towards Bennett. Dixon overran it. Coming through Rosonico. Good play, Paul Rosonico. Over towards Mark Williams, defensive side of the centre circle. The lead's on there by Ben Harris. It was Mark Williams' 20th kick. Harris is ahead of centre. He's been switched into the forward line. Started off at fullback. Long kick. Hodges versus Clisby. On this occasion, Clisby wins out. Hodges has 13 to his name. And he really is bearing down on Rick Davies' goal-kicking record. As Clisby goes short, Craig finds space. A sweeping hand pass to Darren Jarman. Defensive side of centre wing. Runs provided by Hart. The ball sits for him well. He's on the outer side half-forward flank. Here's Burton. Turns inboard, back towards Lehman. He's tucked away on the angle, but he tends to kick these, Darren. Troy Lehman. 10 metres out, and he's missed. He's flattened after he kicked it. And North Adelaide 14-7, trail Port 28-14.
Well, the boy just hasn't quite learned to know when to get rid of the ball. Just allowed a little bit too much time. And they're relentless, the Port Adelaide defenders. The chase of them was Jeff Phelps. That little bit of height, the length of stretch, applying pressure.
182 to 91. It's all the Magpies, and bearing in mind they hadn't been beaten twice in a row this year, coming off a loss last week. They've been ferocious today. Darren Jarman, 20th kick. It falls short. This is Phelps over the top, and Port Adelaide are doing it easily. Williams, Rosonico almost runs into Phelps and then almost hits the umpire with his hand pass. Phillips goes even wider. Hart flew about a minute too early. This is Hutton. Kicks just outside of 50, and Smith has taken it. And Darryl, I should say, it's been a better performance by Smith today.
Yes, unfortunately they've lost namesake Rowan, but Darren Smith has been very mobile.
Squares it. 3 or 4 North Adelaide players as a helicopter hovers over. Probably a Port Adelaide supporter. Clisby did that nicely. He's a very experienced player. He'd be very disappointed with this today. Almost into the centre. Craig over the centre towards centre half forward. Dixon stretched every fibre, but it went over his head, and there it is. Scotty Hodges, one of the stars. It's 28-14, 182 Port. North Adelaide 14 goals 7, 91.